everyone, it's Carrie Bro, your director with Team One Star, and I'm really excited to make this video for you guys to talk to you a little bit about doing fairs, events, and craft shows. This is a two-part video because I'm going to show you what to bring to a fair or vendor event or a festival or whatever event you might be doing. And the second video will be the actual setup at the event and some of the essentials that'll go with that as well. So welcome, and I'm excited that you're here. That's one of the things that I hear often from the consultants, and myself included, is that, oh man, I just, I can't get a party booked. I've already exhausted all my friends and my family. How do I get out there and get more parties? Well, number one, you should definitely be asking. But another really great way to get outside your circle of friends and truly meet people, more people, and build your business more and more is by getting into fairs, events, festivals, craft shows, vendor blenders. There's lots of different names out there, and there's tons of sites out there in your area. So I really encourage you to use Google and search your area for events and reach out to people and contact them. There are events everywhere, and I often have to travel for them, but they can be a lot of fun, very lucrative in your business, and a great way to get outside your circle of friends. I do know that there was a fair in the local area that I grew up in that I've always wanted to get into, and there was always a Scentsy consultant there, and I used to get very frustrated. Well, I built a relationship with that Scentsy consultant, and she couldn't do it one year, and so then that following year, fortunately, I was able to do that fair. So never give up. Just because there's already a Scentsy consultant in that spot, in an event in your area, doesn't mean that they'll always be there. But most importantly, develop a relationship with them because working together really helps us grow as well. So we really want to encourage to help each other as Scentsy sisters. So I talked a little bit about how to get them. Social media, referrals are great. If you're really getting your name out there, people will find you. And they'll say, my church is doing an event, can you come do a table? Whatever it might be. And I really encourage, I think sometimes the smaller, less expensive ones are the best because they're a little less traffic. You get to really talk to people, meet other vendors, and once you've gotten into an event, usually they'll invite you back. But we're going to talk a little bit about fair and vendor etiquette so that you can continue to be invited back at these events. Okay, so like I said, this is a two-part video. This is the first part, and I'm going to talk to you about what to bring. So I got invited Wednesday, so today's Saturday, so just a few days ago. Scentsy consultant had to back out of an event in Reno, Nevada, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live. And so I was referred to by one of our team members, and I picked up this event. So I'm super excited because I have nothing going on this weekend, and I'm just pumped. It gets me excited when I set for an event. Excuse me. So it's an Earth Day event. It's one day. It is Sunday only. And it's basically all day. So it's like from 11 to 6. So it's going to be a pretty long event. All day, one day. I prefer 2-day, 3-day max events. The ones that are week-long events can be very exhausting, very tiresome. So if you don't have help, get some because it can be a lot of work to do by yourselves. Anyways, this is a one-day event. And so I didn't have really any time to prepare. I didn't have time to go order special things from the workstation. I had to use what I had. Fortunately, when we went into transition month, I did purchase a lot of the items that can be used. So let's talk about some of those items that you're going to bring. So I did a little bit of research on this event for Sunday, and it's an annual event. It's been around for a while, so I know there's going to be some high traffic. It does appear like from last year on the website that they had, well over 5,000 people attend this event. And so I'm expecting some pretty good traffic. I am indoors, so that's another thing you want to take into factor when you're doing an event or booth is it outdoors, indoors, what do you have, what do you don't have. Now I will tell you, my very first event I ever did was, I just started. I'd only been a consultant like maybe a month, and I just brought my kit. My kit was enough. Fairs and events, like I said before, is not just about sales, it's about contacts. And so every event that I've done, I've learned something from, or things what not to do, or things what to do, or what I would change. And you could prepare for your event and it'd be completely different once you get there. Preparation's everything. just like a home show, your first launch party, whatever you're doing in your business, you need to be prepared. So when I got wind on Wednesday that I was going to do this event, I took time to start preparing. So one of the things I started to prepare was samples. Samples, I think, are essential to have at a fair or event. And the reason why is it sometimes is how you draw people into your booth. So depending on how your event is set up, sometimes your flow of traffic will just be moving and nobody's stopping, okay? But by handing a sample to somebody, I'm stopping and making eye contact with them. So I think samples are really kind of essential for fairs and events. So I made lots of them. I've got package after package after package. In worst case scenario, if I don't have any traffic, I've got a lot of samples made that I can give to my customers. So I will make samples for almost every fair and event. So I made a whole bunch of samples starting on Wednesday. They have my business card attached to them. By attaching it to my business card, they tend to not just throw my business card away. Often I hear people taking our sample and just throwing it in the car. It gets warm that day, they get back in their car and like, what's that smell? They're going to go back to my business card. So they get to experience Scentsy in one way or another. And so I think samples are really essential. So you want to have samples at your event. If anything, it's pretty easy. I think everybody watching this video, if you're a consultant, has bars to make samples. Doesn't matter what the fragrance is, just make some samples because it gets their attention. So that's essential. Another really essential item that you want to have is catalogs, obviously. And I just love these the spring brochures that they have. This is spring 2016, so it's our new one. And you guys can't smell it because we don't have smell-o-vision, but I love to take room spray and saturate these with some room spray and make them smell a little bit more. Once again, you're infusing that fragrance. You can put the rub and peels on here, or the rub and sniffs on here if you want, but I choose to just infuse it with some room spray. And so these all smell like Mandarin Moon. That's one of my choice. So I had taken two and I went ahead and filled them out. And I'm watching TV one day. I wrote my name, my number on them. I didn't have labels for this many little flyers, but I made a whole bunch of flyers. This is a great alternative to catalogs. They're inexpensive. If you don't have these, it's okay. You don't have to have them, but if you do, these are the way to go. Also great for shows because people can use them as wish lists, and they're pretty disposable and easy to purchase, and you get a lot of them. So that's essential. On top of those, I have some older catalogs. This is the fall 2015. I had a few left over. I actually did pretty good. This is all I had left over. That's not bad. Sometimes I end up with dozens of them. But these are what I will hand out. If customers really want a catalog, I'll give them one of these before I give them one of the new ones. And I just simply let them know, and I can place one of the product list flyers inside the catalog so that they can see the new updated stuff, but then they also have a catalog that has most of the information in it, and I've satisfied what they want. So this will be in my booth somewhere, some older catalogs. So again, essential things that you want to have is catalogs and information. And then I have new catalogs as well for customers that would really want them. And then I also have a few showcase brochures. I have not labeled these yet, but I will. Once again, I can't emphasize that you should be prepared before you go to your event. I've had other consultants say, oh, I'll just label them when I get to the event. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, when you go to an event, fair, or booth, you always want to be present. You always want to be smiling, and you always want to be engaged in what you're doing. If you're sitting in a chair labeling catalogs, that's not engaged. So really go prepared. You want to have everything ready to go for when you hit that spot that day. You're completely engaged in meeting new people. So that's it. I have a few flyers on the diffuser system. The scent and warmer of the month. I have not handed these out, and it's almost over. So this is, again, another alternative. If you're subscribing to the warmer and the scent of the month, you get 50 of these great little flyers. And you can label them with your information. I actually just took a Sharpie, again, watching TV, and just put my information on it. Saved myself some labels. So that's that. And then I also have the next one's flyers, just more flyers. You can never have enough information to hand out, honestly. Order forms are good. If you don't have Square or PayPal, get it. Even if you're not doing fairs and events, get it. It is very nice for your customers to be able to pay you via PayPal or Square. I do have both, and it's also a great way for me to track my business. So if you want to know more information about Square or PayPal, let me know. Not always does my swiper work, but it does let me manually put it in, and it's completely worth the 3%, right? But order forms and receipts are awesome. When you use PAL and Square, they send a receipt to the customer, and you also get their contact information. But if it's somebody local at the booth and they are purchasing, if I have product on hand that they could purchase, I'll fill out one of these, and I do it pretty vaguely. I'll just say a full size and 4 bars. I don't make it detailed, but I do make sure that the customer fills out the top information, and then I give them a receipt. So you want to have order forms, drawing slips. Okay. So you can never have enough contacts in your business. Drawing slips are an amazing tool. Now, some people make a list of, sign up for my newsletter on a clipboard, and they can just write their name and email, whatnot. I pretty much ask every customer to fill one of these out. If they're not filling it out on an order form, which I tell them I'll enter them into it, I ask them to fill out one of these. So if they're walking to my booth and I'm handing them a sample, I'll ask them, hey, you want to enter my drawing? Fill this out. And key information is their email address. I really want to have their email address. So I ask them for that. So you want to have drawing slips, and you want to have a drawing. Now, some events will have their very own drawing and don't allow you to have drawings at your booth. And they will also sometimes share the contact information, and that's okay too. Again, you need to know your event, what you're doing, to know what you're going to have. So for me, I'm going to do a drawing for a full-size warmer. Gift certificates are great because then they have to contact you to utilize a gift certificate. So if you put, a sign, and I might change this. This says a nightlight. I might change it to say like a $25 gift certificate, and they get the gift certificate once it's raffled off, and I get their information. So another great way is to utilize gift certificates. So another key thing, make sure you have all your paperwork together. This is my actual, because it was done Wednesday and it's long distance, I printed out the vendor information that I'll be doing, signed it, entered everything, and I've been corresponding via email, and I'll bring this with me to the event. Make sure you understand your state or your area tax and requirements to do a booth. This will be done in the state of Nevada, and they do require you to have a seller's permit. And so I almost always purchase one. I don't have a tax ID for Nevada. Excuse me. So I almost always purchase their $15 permit. Now, if you're in California, you're automatically exempt from that because they have a rule. I have the information too with Scentsy as direct sales. We pay tax when we have the item, so if we are selling something and we're charging tax, it's appropriate because we pay tax as well. So again, know your state and area laws when it comes to that, and there'll be details on here. I'm not going to get into that. I always bring extra labels with me because sometimes I miss something that needs to be labeled. You want to label. Put your name on everything because you'll never know when that customer needs to know more information. Possibility packets. I put together a few possibility packets, and there's no rule to this as well. I love putting little gifts. This is one disc, dryer disc inside here for possibility packets. If you're not sure what a possibility packet is, it is a packet that talks about joining your team, and you're giving this to the person that's in your booth that seems to be very interested in the business, wants to know more about the opportunity. Not only do you want to get their contact information so that you could follow up with them, but you want to also give them your contact information. So this is a little possibility pack. It goes over 10 reasons of why to join Scentsy. A catalog, I have a pen in there, a little lotion sample, whatnot. And I have 3 of those because this is a one-day event. Now, if I'm really prepared and it's a big event, I will have probably about 15 to 20 of these made up. But again, I've got 3 that I'll bring to this event. I have a change box, which is really important to have as well. Some people use fanny sacks, which are awesome too. Or, shirts with sleeves and pockets to keep money and change in. And you definitely want to go to your event with at least $100 in change. 5s and 1s and quarters. I do round up when it comes to tax so that I don't have to deal with pennies, but I do have nickels, dimes, and quarters. So, and then inside here, I also have more labels, as well as other little things that I might need to grab quickly, like pens and things like that. And I keep my Square in there, my my PayPal swiper, because this is where you're in the calculator, so where you're adding up orders and whatnot, like that. Okay, You also want to have your planner with you. I bring my planner to almost every event because if somebody wants to book a party, I like to have it open visually so I know that I'm available. If you're using your phone, that's fine too. You just want to make sure that you can see what your schedule is like if somebody wants to book a party. And so have a calendar available for you too. Another great thing to have at your booths or tables, and it's been very successful to draw people to the table, is like suckers or candy or things like that for the kids. So I usually keep a few suckers in a little bowl, and again, you'll see that in part 2 of this video about what I put at my table, and it draws kids to it. I found these at the Dollar Tree. They're great. These are great for shopping, so if you have a lot of bars that you're going to be doing at your event, this allows people to free their hands up by just shopping and using a shopping basket. And this fits 6 bars easily in it, and they're cute, and they're 2 for $1. You can't go wrong. So go to the Dollar Tree and get those. Light bulbs. Make sure you pack some light bulbs. You will always have a customer that may have heard of Scentsy and has one and has had one and light bulb burnt out. So I always keep light bulbs. This is actually not very many. I'll keep 20 to 30 light bulbs of each size at my booths for customers that may need one that come and see me. I do charge for them if they're not purchasing something. If they're purchasing something at my booth or event, I will give it to them for free just because I want them to come back, and I do that for my customers. But that's just me. I encourage you guys to do what works best for you. This is just like a little brochure hanger. I'll pack that. Okay, so what else? What else is really important? So fairs and events, again, I can't emphasize that they're not always about sales. I have done events in booths and tables, and the max I like to spend is about $200, and I've sold nothing the whole entire time. My win and my sales come out of bookings, and I get more customers and more contacts. Now, like you guys are probably already experiencing, you can go through a circle of friends or everybody's joined and you're starting to run out of customers. You always want to be growing. You always want to be including new people. So fairs are a great way for me to meet new people and book parties. So if I get one booking out of an event, that's a win-win for me because that's a whole new area of contacts, and I don't know the people at all. So I love basket parties. This is a long distance event for me, so an hour and a half away, so I'm going to encourage basket parties. Now, if somebody really wants to do a home party, I will absolutely travel, but I have to do it based off of my schedule. But basket parties are really great. So I make sure I have at least 3 baskets so that I can encourage getting basket parties. So these are some waters. I pack a lunch pail when I go to an event because you get thirsty and hungry and you need snacks. And not always, if you're by yourself, do you have an opportunity to get away and get food. Also, some events don't even have food. So you always want to make sure you bring granola bars and water. I also have a dual purpose for my waters, and that's for my diffuser. I like to have a bottle of water close by to use for my diffusers, for my demonstrations. Okay, signage. Signage is huge. Again, you're going to see this in part 2 once I show you guys the actual event and my setup. I won't know until I get there. So this is one of the signs I have, and notice this is free gift. It's just a gift, right? So we don't advertise anything that Scentsy doesn't already offer. And so I'm going to give a free bar. I have them wrapped up really cute to anybody who is willing to take a basket that day from me. And so my goal is to get 3 of these going and out at this event. That's my goal. And I really believe when you're energized, your mind is set, you're prepared, this will happen. So I know when I go into this event on Sunday, I have an open mind. So I'm going to be looking for new team members and 3 people to take a party on the go. So this is just, signage is really, really important to me. This is another little sign that I did that talks about the oils. This is all inspired by Katie Farner. She did this great little video with the bars. One of the things at my events that I see, if I have bars for sale, not always do I have supplies for sale or product for sale. She inspired me to make this. She did it's just a block of wood. I make my own chalkboard paint and chalk pens and made these. So I made a few of those to include combine and saves and bars. And so these will go on my display. So you want to have signage. I have extra signage, things that say that I take Visa, MasterCard, credit, whatever, just so that you can do that at your event. Okay, and then I also made these cute little things. I just had to share them because they're fun. So these are just some clamshells. It was from the scent of the month because I made all those samples. Remember earlier I showed you all the samples. And it's a really soft fragrance. So I opened them up and I soaked them in hot water with a little bit of bleach, rinsed them, and let them dry. Once they dried, I stuffed them with cotton balls. And then I used chalk paint again on the outside of these, and I made 6 of them. So you can see them, that I'll be just putting on my display. And it just says smell me and cleanse your nose. For those of you that have been to Director Boot Camp, probably learned some really valuable information that I'm going to share with you right now. At boot camp, we go through a whole scent program where they tell us, you know, how the fragrances are made, what's in them, what's a heavy note, what's a light note, and what the notes are made of. Another thing that they taught us is that there's an old tale that they say utilize coffee beans to cleanse your nose. So if you stick your nose in that fragrance that, and then you sniff the next one, coffee beans are supposed to neutralize that. Okay, the truth is that coffee is very potent and very strong, and it actually just paralyzes your nose. So when your customer goes to smell the next fragrance, it's really not the true scent. The best thing you should be doing is having them either, if they have no perfume on, smell their arm, smell their shirts or whatever, wherever they don't have any perfume, no, unscented. Well, unscented way to do that is a piece of paper, or I just made these and I just stuffed them with cotton balls. So the customer can walk around and smell the fragrances and hold on to one of these and cleanse her nose by sniffing inside of it, just some cotton, nothing, cleanse her palate, and smell the next fragrance. So that was kind of fun. I had to share that little tidbit. Make some. They were pretty easy. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to bring it to this event. What's another good thing? So another really great thing to have an event that I've learned, indoors or outdoors, is you always want to have a toolbox. So behind me I have a toolbox. And I keep all of this basket right here will actually keep all of my catalogs and things like that I need easily accessible inside the booth of it. I have 2 boxes like these, and let me get it. 2 boxes like these, and this is like my go-to toolbox, right? So I have hammer in there, I have sign stuff, I have a drill, tape, scissors, rope, wire, clips, drill, more signs. You know, you can never have enough little chalkboard signs. Pens. I have a backup PayPal swiper in here. It's just my all-around toolbox. And it's not uncommon that when you go to an event that something breaks, or it's laid out awkward and you have no way of hanging up your join sign, or you want to hammer something into here on your table or fix something of yours. Toolboxes are really essential, so I encourage you to have some type of toolbox with little essentials that you could use to MacGyver something together if you need to at an event. If it's super windy at the event, you might need some rope to stake down your tent if it's an outdoor event, whatever it might be. But toolboxes are important. Extension cords, you're going to want to have multiple extension cords if you have electricity. There are events that you would do that don't have electricity, and room spray is a great alternative to encourage that fragrance outside or inside if you don't have electricity. So those are just a few tidbits on fairs and events or shows or what might be that I'd like to share with you. There is no rule to it. You use what you have. You go in with a positive attitude. Often I hear consultants say, oh, I don't have anything. I don't have any product. So go to an event, meet new people, get contact, share your Scentsy with them. You don't have to have all this stuff to do well. Those of you that have been on my team since the day I started may have met me at my first event that I did, and you would know I had nothing at that event. But it was hugely successful because my team grew, and it was just a lot of fun to do. So keep that in mind. You can do this. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me via text message or through Google Hangout. Meanwhile, share this video with your team members, and I'd love to encourage you to get out there, go get some events, even create your own event if you need to meet other people. either way, everybody needs to get out there and meet new people and continuously grow in their business and continuously share the Scentsy experience, because that's what we're all about. All right? So good luck, and part 2 will be coming on Sunday after I get set up for the event, and I will share with you exactly how my booth looks, how I set it up, and I can tell you that there's never two alike. They change almost every time I go, because I'm always evolving, always wanting to be better, and I know you guys have a superpower as well. Get out there and utilize it and get energized in your business. Thanks for listening.